There's a moment you know all too well. A quiet room, a peaceful morning, nothing happening, nothing wrong. And yet something inside you whispers, be careful. Your breath shortens, just slightly. Your shoulders lift a fraction of an inch. Your thoughts begin to scan the horizon of your life for anything that might be about to break. It's subtle, so subtle that most people would never notice it. But you do. Your body does. It's the familiar shift from stillness to alertness. A soft tension beneath the skin, a tightening around the heart, a feeling not of danger, but of preparedness. Prepared for what? You're not sure. But you've lived long enough with this feeling to know that calm moments rarely stay calm. Your body waits, your mind listens, your senses sharpen, even when nothing is wrong, especially then. Hypervigilance is strange in that way. It doesn't wait for danger to appear. It anticipates it, creates space for it, makes room for the possibility that safety might fracture without warning. It is the constant readiness for impact that may never come. Some people live their whole lives assuming peace is the default state of being. But for you, peace is the unfamiliar thing, an unpredictable visitor, something that feels fragile, like thin glass between you and a storm you can't yet see. And so, even in silence, you listen for the first crack. You scan the faces around you, looking for the smallest shift in expression, a change in tone, a pause that lasts half a second too long. Your mind keeps track of everything. Who seems upset? Who seems distant? Who might be hiding something? Who might be about to pull away? Who might suddenly become disappointed, angry, or cold? Hypervigilance is not paranoia. It's not imagination. It's adaptation. A nervous system trying, desperately, to keep you safe in a world it once learned was unpredictable. Before you had words for fear, before you had any power to protect yourself, your body learned to read danger in ways most adults never see. A slammed door, a shift in breathing, a certain rhythm of footsteps, a frown forming on a parent's face, a silence that felt heavy, charged, ready to erupt. You learned to sense all of it before it happened. Children are not taught hypervigilance. They acquire it, the way a tree acquires the shape of the wind that bent it as it grew. A child in an unpredictable home doesn't wait for danger. They anticipate it. They adjust. They study the emotional landscape of the room with the precision of someone whose safety depends on it. Because often it did. Maybe you learned that smiles could turn into shouting without warning. Maybe you learned that moods could shift like weather. Sunshine one moment, lightning the next. Maybe you learned that peace was not something to trust, but something to prepare for losing. And so your body never relaxed fully. Not even when you slept. Not even when you felt safe. Not even now. Hypervigilance is not a mindset. It's not a personality trait. It is the nervous system stuck in a story that stopped being true a long time ago. A story where danger arrives quietly, unexpectedly, and without mercy. And even though you have grown and your world has changed, your body still carries the memory of the old world as if it were happening right now. It doesn't scan the environment because you're paranoid. It scans because it remembers. It remembers that raised voices meant something, that silence meant something, that footsteps meant something, that being unprepared meant pain. It remembers so deeply that it prepares long before your mind is aware of it. As an adult, hypervigilance looks like this. You're waiting for a message back, and with every minute of silence, your chest gets tighter. Not because anything is wrong, but because your body is bracing for the shift from safety to disappointment. Someone's tone changes and your stomach drops. You relive a feeling you can't place, a feeling that doesn't belong to the present moment, but it rises anyway. You walk into a room and instantly sense the emotional temperature. You know who's upset, who's distant, who might be close to erupting. Everyone else is just talking, but you're detecting every subtle cue like a finely tuned instrument. The world doesn't feel neutral to you. It feels like something to monitor. And your body is tired, but it doesn't know how to stop. People tell you to relax, to stop overthinking, to let things go. But they don't understand that your body doesn't believe it's safe to relax. That letting go feels like leaving your guard down. And you learned a long time ago that unguarded moments are the ones that hurt the most. Relaxation feels unfamiliar, unsettling, even dangerous. Your body asks, if I stop watching, who will protect me? And that question has lived in you since the first moment your safety depended on seeing the danger before it arrived. There's something heartbreaking about living in preparation instead of presence. Your mind is always 10 seconds ahead, imagining everything that could fall apart. You don't fully enjoy good moments because you're waiting for them to end. You don't trust stability because stability was never real in the past. You don't breathe deeply because deep breaths feel like letting your guard down. You call it anxiety. You call it overthinking. But it is something far older and deeper. It is a child still watching the door. A child who learned that the world could change in a single moment. A child who learned that being ready was the only way to stay safe. But here is the truth your body has never been told. You are not in that moment anymore. The danger you prepared for is not here. The voices that scared you are not here. The unpredictability you survived is not here. Your nervous system has been living in a memory instead of a reality. It has been protecting a version of you that no longer exists. And healing begins not when you force yourself to relax, but when your body slowly, gently discovers that peace doesn't betray you anymore. Healing begins when you notice a quiet room that stays quiet, a calm day that doesn't turn stormy, a raised voice that isn't directed at you, a moment of stillness that does not break. Your body learns through repetition, through safety with no consequences, through time spent in environments that don't punish softness. Bit by bit, breath by breath, your guard will lower. Not because you force it to, but because it realizes it no longer needs to stay raised. So if you always expect the worst, please know this. It is not because you are dramatic. It is not because you are negative. It is not because something is wrong with you. You expect the worst because the worst once arrived without warning. Your body is not overreacting. It is remembering. And you, the you who is here now, are allowed to live in a different story. One where safety is real. One where peace doesn't vanish. One where you don't have to watch the horizon for storms that no longer exist. You have carried this vigilance for so long. You can set it down now. Slowly, gently, in your own time. And when you do, you will discover something you have not felt in years. Not the absence of danger, but the presence of safety.